Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd like to talk with you from my perspective about a life of purpose on purpose rather than by accident. So did you know that, speaking of quotations by great people in the past, thinking of Albert Einstein, known for his E equals MC squared, he said that the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest, not the speed of light. And he said that those who understand it earn it, those who don't understand it support those other people by paying it. Does that ring a bell with you? Earn it or pay it. So, Dr. Brad mentioned earlier that we're in an environment of a lot of stress. A lot of stress having to do with finances. So let's admit to ourselves that it's possible that any one of us would be overwhelmed with stress. Would you agree with that? Would you raise your hand if you agree with that? Okay. So let's just look at this. The home mortgage, your home mortgage is really usually your single largest commitment and perhaps the source of the greatest stress. Even though it's a roof over your head, it's an anxiety and a weight in your heart. For decades, homeowners have considered that investment safe, sacrosanct, enduring. Nothing would happen to that. Nothing would happen to dissuade people from having a 6% annual appreciation everywhere in the United States. Sometimes 15 or 20% in California. Just outrageous rates of appreciation. It was impossible to make a stupid real estate investment decision. Impossible. Now it's improbable. So refinancing was easy if you could fog glass. You could fog a mirror, you could get financed. Easy qualification, because if it didn't qualify right now, well, it'd qualify in 18 months or something like that. You agree, Dave? Sure. So before it was a possibility, now it's really a reality, because there has been a bubble that has burst. The bubble has burst. There's a lot less BS in the marketplace nowadays. Collateral-based organizations that were traded on the stock market have crashed abysmally. Colby could report on that. And we have an epidemic of losses for individuals, foreclosures. We have unprecedented distress and stress amongst the people here. I'm sure that even people in this audience, as clever and as wonderful as your financial management might be, you might even feel a little bit of stress from this. Just a guess. So it's really time for you to get in control. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah.
So let me tell you about a couple people that actually developed some tools to help us get control of our lives as it relates to debt. There's these two fellows, Skylar Whitman and John Washenko. They grew up in Utah together in the same neighborhood. Both of their families lost their homes to foreclosure in their adolescent years. Both of them vowed that that would never happen to them. They decided that they wanted to go into business together because they were great best friends forever, BFFs, just like my fellow panelists and I. So they were BFFs, and they decided that they would found a company in the hottest market in the world at the time, about 15 years ago, and that was lending money for houses. They found out after a period of time that people came back to them every 3 years to refi.
Oh my.
Because they wanted to extract their equity and use it to support a lavish lifestyle. And about 7 or 8 years ago, it started unraveling because it wasn't possible to get the valuations anymore. And 3 or 4 years ago, it really started coming apart because valuations were actually less than the loans that were on the property. And it became worse from there. So what they decided is they needed to help America get out of debt. They wanted to start a revolution. So what they did is they formed this company called United First Financial. That's some of the staff that are involved in the company. You see the two circles showing the responsible individuals. So they wanted to help people master their own situations. That was their ambition. They researched and they found out that there was a way that you could change the way you handled your money in such a way that you didn't have to change your budget, but you could still pay down your debt at alarming rates, essentially. 1/3 to 1/2 the time. And so their ambition was no change in lifestyle while eliminating 1/2 to 2/3 of your time to pay off with your mortgage. And then they broadened their perspective and said, let's attack all consumer debt. So they have products for that as well. Imagine this. What if that, you see that table in front, or that histogram in front, or that bar chart in front that shows something happening fast, and you see the one in back, something happening slow? How many of you have a conventional mortgage in here? Everybody raise your hand. Okay. Or the smart ones are renting right now, right? Okay. If you're, what you are is you're on that back path there. You're on that back chart. That's the way that you pay off your mortgage. Interest is front end loaded, and it's only towards the end that you really make a lot of progress against the indebtedness on your house or something that's financed with a fixed rate mortgage. Look at the one that's in the foreground. This is an accelerated program. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So what would you do? Let's say that out here in year 11, suddenly you don't have a mortgage payment anymore. What would you do then? Think about the latitude it would give you in your life. How would you feel? Does that make you feel pretty good? Yeah. How good would you feel? Would you feel good?
Yes.
Woo! Yeah. Woo! So you would have the possibility to get kind of a new lease on life, right? You could live life much more to the fullest, and you could begin to enjoy the bounty of abundance. Would that be nice?
Yep.
Then you could invest in the future, or you could consume in the present. You know, you could do whatever you want. But first of all, you got to develop some discretion, right? That's when you say, right.
Right.
Thank you.